Yes, everybody, Russ on the West Ham Network. Me again. Sorry, you're going to get bored of me, but Anton's back from his holidays soon, so you'll be able to jazz it up a little bit. We thought we'd bring some information, some sort of. Obviously, we spoke at lunchtime today about the conversation that Tim Steidten had exclusively with the West Ham Network via Anton at the Gala celebratory dinner last night at the Intercontinental O2. And not necessarily fallout, but we thought we'd bring you some tidbits of information, things that were observed that were very topical, I think, in terms of the behaviour of the players and those who weren't there as well, because I think that's also of interest. And done a little montage of some of the pictures that Anton took as well, so you get a feel of what it was like. In terms of the players themselves, there was some interesting things. Obviously, the club sort of had a cornered off area for the players, for the current team players, of which the punters, the paying punters, couldn't sort of go beyond, so to speak. But despite the fact there was this cornered off area, Mark Noble, Kevin Nolan, Flynn Downs, anyone sort of who has had an association with the club, whether it's obviously Flynn as a fan or Nobes as a fan and as a long-standing player, and obviously Nolan in terms of being a player and a coach, didn't take notice of this cordon at all, and so we're very much getting over the cordon, talking to the fans, getting pictures, all that type of thing. Which is too bloody right. It's almost £400 a ticket, really. So that was quite interesting. Also, what was interesting was Naif Aged. Obviously, we saw the celebrations when we won the Conference League over a month ago, and we were surprised by the sort of prominent nature of Tilo Kehrer. But by all accounts, watching yesterday, in terms of Anton being our best body language experts and psychologist experts, Aged was like he was sort of holding court with all the players, bantering, joking, where the players are maybe sitting down. He was upstanding, milling between the players' tables. And so I wonder who's going to be our new captain. I think Naif will be our new captain, in all honesty. And obviously we don't know. We haven't been announced yet, really. Obviously, we'll find out next Saturday when we play Bournemouth in the first game of the Premier League. Obviously, we've got the friendly with Bayer Leverkusen tomorrow. Obviously, we spoke about the Tim Steidten thing. And we did mention it at lunchtime, but again, we're bringing up again. Obviously, there's this narrative that Steidten and Moyes don't like each other. Anton didn't see any frostiness, in all honesty. He was pretty much watching their relationship and how they're interacting, and they were jostling, they were laughing at one point. I mean, Steidten was permanently on his phone, texting, taking calls, dipping in, dipping out. A few times he went over to Moyes and showed him his phone. They laughed. So obviously maybe they could have been working on something. Who knows? We don't know. We're only speculating. But obviously we saw it firsthand with our eyes, or Anton did. I'm just relaying it to him while he's still on holiday with his family. What was really interesting and probably confirms what we're assuming is who wasn't there. Aaron Cresswell wasn't there, despite the fact being there for 9 years and being heavily involved in the run, the conference run. He was not there. Obviously, we know that his move to Wolves has been sort of closed down due to FFP restrictions with Wolves, apparently. But and we know from X that he's basically refused to be training. He hasn't trained at all this week, but he wasn't there. Another omission from the roll call: Gianluca Scamacca, and obviously with Fabrizio Romano and several other news sources reporting that Inter are going in with a bigger bid for Scamacca. That could allude to the fact that he is also departing from the club. People there who were basically didn't want to be there. Antonio was apparently disinterested. He was apparently on his phone all the time. Didn't look like he wanted to be there until he got his award and he perked up a bit. Same with Pablo Fornals, who, despite the fact Pablo is very much a bubbly character, well revered within the fan base, he wasn't particularly forthcoming. It seemed it might be an off day, he might have had a row with his wife, but I thought it was interesting in terms of bringing to you what was said. we spoke with, Anton spoke with Moyes-Steidten, and we spoke about that at lunchtime. So go back and listen to that in terms of what he said. And again, the way he said it, I think is very interesting as well. Particularly, what he could have said and what he actually said. He could have chosen his words more wisely and being very sort of like sat on the fence, but he was very adamant in terms of what he was saying. But anyway, I thought it was quite interesting. We've got a little video package of the event, so to speak. A few pictures, a few videos. Not the best quality, but Anton was half cut when he was taking them. So enjoy, and we'll be back later on with Hammer's headlines. Take care. Bye bye.
It was almost like you were out with Jared halfway down the pitch there, and it was just a moment of sheer elation when that ball hit the back of the net. But then post-match, on the field, we had friends, we had family, people were separating in the stands. We've all seen the pictures of you with your dads and the special memories you created there, but that was replicated in the stands with fathers and sons and daughters who were all there, and it just sort of proves how wonderful and these moments really are so special, and how football really can bring people together.
Well, it's a special moment for everybody who was in the stadium at that time, I can tell you. The ecstasy we had at the end, winning the last minute goal. And I thought that when you see the goal, you can see my face, you can see Jared's face, you can see everybody, what it meant. It was probably a release of tension as well, but more importantly,